Boys to Men, the podcast. Always happy to have y'all here with us. It's been a good season, man. It's been a really good season so far. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Really appreciate all you all who have been listening, watching, supporting. Like, we really appreciate all of that. The support is huge. It really makes things bigger for us. It makes everything worth it. When we hear different stuff that we think is funny, that y'all thought was funny, or stuff that y'all really enjoy, good topics, and when it starts conversations outside of here, that's really what we're hoping for. So we really appreciate y'all. I know we've had some serious episodes. We've had some nowhere near so serious episodes. This one is kind of a deep one. We hadn't had a deep one in a little bit, so we just wanted to go ahead and talk with you all. But before we do that, before we get all into the deepness and the seriousness of what we got to talk about, we got to go ahead and get this episode started off with a good old-fashioned
story time with Dom.
I like the way how you pulled your chi.
Yeah, had to get it all together.
Yo, what up, good people? You know what it is. Your boy Don before Nick all day, every day. Slow motion, never rolling. Always, packing, never lacking, never slacking. You know what it is.
We don't.
Oh, Chuck, you confused about the rolling part?
Yep.
That was new. He threw that in there. Okay.
It says slow motion, never rolling.
Was that premeditated?
No.
Not at all. That's off the cuff. Hey, look, I'm doing something different though. I'm gonna give you a good segue. I'm gonna give you a good segue, G. I'm gonna give you a good segue. Mm-hmm. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah, what y'all scared?
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm being honest. I could have done a story time for this one because I got it.
I got a real one.
You got one.
I got it.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's bad, but it's a good one. So look,
okay.
When I was like 7, 8 or whatever, I was with my dad or whatever. We was chilling.
Like half his stories are with his dad.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of his.
No, they just be by myself, really, for the most part. But
you just happen to be under his care at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, you know what I'm saying? We was out going shopping or whatever, and around this time it was summertime, and I think we went to like Target or something like that and got something, got some groceries or whatever, and went back to the crib.
Mm-hmm. Right.
No, we went back to my grandma's house, and like. This is terrible, but I had a cap gun, right? And I had it in my back, like it was like a real gun.
Explain to people what a cap gun is.
A cap gun is like a small little toy gun. It's real toys, but it's like really colorful. So like it can be like lime green, so they know it's fake.
Lime green and orange.
Yeah, pretty much like that. And like the small little things, like little caps, little special caps or whatever you put in there. It's like 6 shots.
It's almost like the little firecracker pop.
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, if you squeeze the trigger, it make like a pow sound or whatever. Basically, so I had it in my back.
You had it in your pants?
Yeah, like I was a thug.
Like with the handle sticking out?
Yeah,
chilling. Like was it at least the shirt covering it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had
that makes it worse.
Oh,
it does. But
it do. So yeah, I had it on my head, and then and then like, I don't think I should have gotten in trouble in this, but I whatever.
You said, wait.
I shouldn't have gotten in trouble, but I had it on me, right?
He hadn't gotten to the whole part. Right?
No, yeah, I had it on me, right? I had it on me.
I'm still confused too.
And like we went to the store, and then when we got back to my grandma's house, it was poking me, so I pulled it out.
Pause.
Hey, yeah, you got that one.
That was a wild statement right there, my boy.
Wow.
I was like, wait a minute, what? And I even gave you a second to kind of clean
No,
it
you
up.
didn't, bro. You really didn't.
No, you had a smooth 20 seconds.
No, bro,
it
was like 2 seconds, bro. When I said it, you came right like
15.
Oh God!
But still,
I was like, no, he really ain't give me no time. He came, but I don't know.
but still.
So
It
anyways,
was poking me, so I had to.
Look,
It's already recorded.
I think they catch it, Chuck.
all right, so look, all right.
That was
so
wild.
the cap gun was poking me in my back while it was in my waist. So I took the cap gun from out my waist and held it in my hand while I was in the car with my dad. Let me say it grammatically correct, so we ain't got no confusion.
Man,
So
we ain't gonna get to this thing.
excuse me.
but the problem was I had it on me, but when I took it out, right, my dad saw it in my hand and looked at me like I was crazy and said, "Why'd you have it on you?" I'm like, "It's a toy. I just had it on." He was like, "Nah." Did I get a whooping? I think I did slightly, maybe not big one. I think I got like a small one, but
A small whooping.
But he made
What's
me
a small whooping?
like
Few hits.
yeah,
Just a couple of.
yeah.
Nah.
It wasn't with no belt or nothing. Like it wasn't with no belt or nothing. So it was like one of those like you shouldn't have did it. We'll smack you and you did. All right, cool.
Upside
But he made
the
me throw the gun. He made me throw it away. I was kind of mad because I just got it like 2 days ago. Like, bro, you made me throw it. I just bought this myself. But you know, but then you know he broke down the ramifications. Like, you don't want to have it on you walking to the store as a black man. Because he was like, you don't want to do that because you don't want to get in trouble. And I was like, as a kid, it's like, bro, it's a toy. You tripping.
That's a lesson right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but as a kid, it's like, it's a toy. You tripping. Whatever.
Yeah.
But to this day, I was like, all right, I get it now. So, you know, more of the story, as of now, in this generation, you know, this new era of life, yeah, don't have no toy guns on these kids like that. You don't want to take no chances.
And the crazy part is, a lot of the toy guns now
They look too
so real.
So
You feel me?
So real.
You feel me? So,
Yeah, them pellet guns and those BB guns for sure.
crazy.
Man,
So.
you know, the Skittles
And you can
and
get them
Sweet
at
Tea.
Walmart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, Skittles and that was,
Or driver's licenses. Oh, well,
Sorry.
man, I mean,
oh, wow.
we can't even get driver's
Sorry.
license. But anywho,
And that was-
that was a story time with Dom. I can say, I mean, as for a segue, you know,
decent.
if we're talking about
It was a decent set.
No, it's in there. That's.
bang bang pow pow, you know,
Yeah.
we are gonna have a conversation about bang bang and pow pows. So
Cops and robbers.
I was going to say, well.
I think the conversation does go with some
No,
cops.
That's a solid segue.
Some
right
robbers.
There. Not even gonna lie.
Roberts
so-
will be mentioned. What?
And so
Now
the
for
reason-
a bad segue.
the reason why it's a decent segue is because not necessarily that it's the exact same thing that he was doing, but we know some time has passed now at this point where, you know, we want to talk about these mass shootings and different things like that have happened, but not even just this year. Mainly that's what we want to discuss, obviously, but we know this goes way back to years and years and years ago, and we can even think about like Columbine and things like that. Like so between all these shootings at schools, man, shootings at grocery stores, just churches. You can't even go to church no more, man. And now
You can't ride the subway.
Like, oh yeah, the subway shooting
can't
that
ride the
Dom
subway.
mentioned to us. Was that in New York? You said?
Yeah.
Like, this is getting out of hand, man. Like, it's been out of hand, but it's getting ridiculous. And now, and what did they pass on that law about? Was it like now that the teachers can? Was that a
Carry.
real thing? Now the teachers can
They're
carry the
talking.
gun?
I think it's something that's in the works.
Yeah, they're trying to, but it ain't gonna.
I thought I saw something that was passed like 2 weeks ago. Maybe I mean not 2 weeks ago.
Maybe
but
in
weeks ago.
certain states.
Yeah,
maybe I just
certain
missed-
states. That was-
Somebody saying.
But that's the fact of the matter is, for one, I'll just say I think that's a bad idea. But that's, and I get
I
the-
do
get the-
believe that there should be weapons on school grounds, but I think that they should be in a secure area that's accessible by authorized users. I don't think that teachers should walk around carrying
Who would
weapons.
be authorized users?
People who have been trained on how to use them.
Okay.
And we talking about man
Adults.
hours. You gotta have man hours. I'm talking about hours.
Right.
Not no, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you put 100 hours in. No, I'm talking about you gotta have like 300 hours in because I can't trust you. You got my
And then-
if you got my child there, I ain't got no kids right now. But if I did, you got my kid, I need you to be super trained.
But here's
I
my thing.
can't-
Here's
I'm
my
not-
thing.
it's my child. I
And
can't
you
do
can
that.
only train them so much.
Right.
Right. But I think that the biggest issue, and this has been discussed before, the biggest issue when it comes to outside of I'm gonna call them professionals who are highly trained on gun use, the biggest thing that differs the average person from that type of individual is using your gun under distress. And I think a lot of times what ends up happening is, if I'm the average Joe who doesn't necessarily have that type of training where I can pull my gun out under distress and properly use it. You know, that's hard to come by when you're dealing with the average Joe. But I believe that with some training, you can have at least some sort of understanding of what's needs to be done.
So only pushback I have on that is that to me still doesn't solve
Correct.
the problem.
You
know what I mean?
So, to your point, I like what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about schools and how to keep them safe. So, I guess it depends on the conversation. If we're strictly talking about a school,
specific.
I can be on board with certain things. The problem is, to me, there's no guaranteed way to protect schools, which it sucks and
There
it's
is.
scary.
But schools won't be able to afford it.
First of all,
So there's no guaranteed way.
in real life if you want to do it that far. But
No, it
in my
wouldn't be a
opinion.
prison, but schools still wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah, so my thing is, so it's not practical. There's no practical ways of doing it. I mean, obviously you could put a steel barrier around the whole entire school and can't
No,
nobody
you
get in
wouldn't
and
have to
out
go that
type
far.
thing. But there is no practical way of doing it. But there are certain things that can be done. So, I guess before we go into this, how do we want to tailor this conversation? Do we want to do it full scale?
I mean, if we're going to go down the rabbit hole, we might as well go down the rabbit
Full
hole.
scale
When
mass
don't
shooting,
we do?
and then come back to the school thing, or do we just want to talk about the school thing?
I mean,
since we're on topic?
I just want to discuss the idea that we are living in an age, and I actually, I don't even want to say it that way because I feel like these kind of things have been going on for a long time,
Right.
and they just haven't been, properly reported, and so we didn't hear about it as much. They'd happen across the country. We wouldn't necessarily hear until
Was there mass
time later.
Was there mass when we come to school? Obviously, we still on the school thing. Was there mass school shootings before
It wasn't-
Columbine?
No, not
I
really.
didn't. Not that I know of.
Not really.
I feel like that was the first one.
I was like, yeah, that one.
What
I
is
mean,
that? Is it 20 years now?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
it 20 years?
Yeah, I don't want to say it was the first one because I don't.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not-
the first one I know of.
But I think that may have been
publicly.
The only
I
one,
think that was
I was going to say the only one that
first
came
big
close was the one that happened in Michigan.
The Columbine.
When they dude got into the building, literally.
But this was still after
Yeah, well,
Columbine.
Yeah, no.
So
Columbine is, I believe, was the first big one because a lot
why I
of
said
laws,
mass, yeah,
a
that's
lot
why I
of
said
laws
mass
changed because of Columbine. So clearly, that was the one that shook everybody up. So if there was one before that, it couldn't have been as big as what Columbine was.
yeah, the reason
The
why
problem is, it's been a lot.
the
of
reason
them as
why
big since.
the school shootings are so like
It's kids.
near it like it's
And now we're talking about,
kids,
but
man.
now we're talking about elementary schools.
Like,
You talking about,
elementary
you talking about getting
We're
rid
not
of
even talking about
legacies.
high schools no more.
Like
We're talking
elementary
about
school.
elementary schools are getting shot up, and not just like normal shot up. Like it.
You know how many friends I had or family I had who like the next day or next few days either A, kept their kid at home because they were fearing for their kids' lives, and it didn't even happen in this state.
Yeah.
Right? Or they said that they were literally crying after they sent their kid to school, or like they took them to school or whatever, and like because they were worried, and like what do you do with that situation? I'm unfortunately not a parent yet, so like I can't like speak on that particular thing like that, but it's like that's
You can only
it's
imagine.
like we talking like 8, 9 years old,
Yeah, getting
10
shot
years old.
with weapons.
Like I heard something about this like
Shot,
this like
assault
broke my
rifles,
heart,
the whole
right?
thing.
My nephew, my brother, and I commend my brother for really talking to his kids and preparing them or whatnot. But the thing is, so like he was asking my nephew, like, what do you do, hey, if you have, a school shooting, if something's going on or whatever, what do you do? And, he's just kind of going through things like that or whatever, which was good. And I thought that was good for him to do that. And I hated that he had to do it.
Right.
Because he shouldn't have to do that. And then to hear my nephew's response, because he goes to school with two of my nieces that are his cousins or whatever, and he's thinking about, oh, hey, let me go. And he was like, first thing I would do is go find them and protect them. And I'm like, first of all, that broke my heart to feel like, for one, I commend my nephew because that was his first thought. was to go protect his family. But then it also thought to myself, his life matters too, and he shouldn't be having to think about going to protect his cousins. He's 10.
Yeah, that's a
Like, I mean,
that's a stress. That's a
he's
stressor on
10.
your head. That's a stressor that you shouldn't have.
It's a stress, but it's a stress, and this goes beyond just school shootings. It's a stress that actually existed prior to this. When you consider the neighborhoods that some people grow up in, mine specifically, when I grew up, both high schools that I went to, there were school shootings. While I was there.
You did go to ghetto schools,
Right? And these weren't like mass shootings. These were targeted shootings, right?
Yeah.
You know, people coming for certain people, right?
Right.
But the point is, individuals were shot that weren't targeted.
Of course.
and that's the
And
problem.
so, and these are the
It's not
kind
like
of
kids got
things
great
that
aim
you
out
have
here.
to be concerned about in these type of environments.
Yeah.
But now we broaden it to
It's not just in
any
the hood. Yeah,
environment
exactly.
this can happen in.
Anywhere.
that's true.
Anywhere.
Right? And so now you have this concern that, you know, you gotta discuss this with your children. You have to have actionable plans on how to make sure your children are safe, and ways to, you know, cover them.
Yeah.
There are tools out now. I don't even want to call them. They're protective wear. That you can put in your child's book bag.
I
It's a
seen that.
plate,
Bulletproof plate. Yeah.
that you can put in your child's book bag so they can use to protect themselves.
But that's-
and it's sad that even exists.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about little children.
Yeah, man. These is babies, bro. They ain't even had a chance to like get out
playing
like
real life Call of Duty. That should not be happening. Let's keep it like seriously.
Honestly, I kind
They
of
out here doing that. That should not be happening.
And this is you know, my opinion, and you might not agree with it, but I somewhat blame those kind of games. We have set an environment in those games in modern times, going through what we would see as a normal civilization, schools, homes, neighborhoods, and we're in war. And this puts children and adults in that mindset that, okay, this is possible. Now I can go around and carry my gun in my neighborhood. There are people, I saw a photo of a guy in a Taco Bell, had a strap on both legs with ammo and weapons and a strap around his waist and a vest on. And he's just going to get a meal at his local Taco Bell.
Crunch.
Yeah, bro. But hey,
You never know when it's gonna fire off. That's the problem.
Exactly.
That's really the problem.
my man says better to be ready than get ready.
But you know what? Hey, no, that's real.
That's facts, though.
That's kind of a good segue into. I know G mentioned he wanted to talk more, even beyond just schools. Like, but how do we? What are some thoughts on? I know you were big on this. What are some thoughts that we could do to kind of solve this or figure this out or change this or
At least in the right direction.
yeah? There we go. What's the best direction we can go in? I know before you mentioned gun law.
Perfect world.
Look.
In a perfect world, no, I'm playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need guns. But
True.
But that's a conversation for another
It'd
day.
be like
I mean,
the bull.
That ain't never happening.
That would never happen.
Yeah.
And so,
Compound V.
yeah, I think, yeah. So I'm just gonna say this. Before we get into the main topic, just so we don't have to go back to it.
What?
Yeah. As
This
far
dog, bro, he brought in.
He wild.
as far as schools are
Saying
concerned,
Compound V will eliminate guns. No,
It's V29,
Thanks.
bro.
Thanks.
V29.
It's
We on
V29.
that-
Thanks,
on that-
Chuck. All right,
saying.
go ahead, G.
as far as schools are concerned, there's not a whole lot that you can do.
Background checks, security.
Yeah,
Things like that?
what I say is with schools,
They'll
obviously
just
we
shoot
have
them
to
outside.
increase security at the schools. I don't agree with like people, full SWAT members walking around the school with a bunch of
I was about to say, like,
8-year-olds.
because
That's wild.
I got
to
a
me.
rebuttal
You
to
don't want them to
that.
be
But
scared and stuff
but
like that.
what I say is, should there be like an officer maybe concealed somewhere?
100%.
Maybe some guys in the office. Like, so I'm gonna say this high school that I came from, it wasn't like this when I was there, but it's like this now. When you walk into the school, you walk into a little vestibule area. Well, first you have to buzz in from outside. Then you come into a vestibule area where you're locked in this particular area. And then they can talk to you from the office. They can look at you and they can talk to you, but you're still locked in there. And they'll determine whether you're able to come inside of the office. And then you got to go into the school from there.
And I think I think that's good.
So if anything gonna happen, you got to see them first.
Yeah.
And my thing is, that's cool to me. Because my thing is, obviously, I heard the issue with this last shooting in Texas was there was a back door open. Obviously, we know we have to make sure that's not the case.
Yeah.
Obviously, there should be
kids.
one way in, one way out.
Negligence.
I was gonna say, here go the problem with that. Here go
One
the
way
problem
in,
with that.
one way out type situation.
No, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I hear what you're saying. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but the problem is like in the way schools work. I'm pretty sure we all know there has to be multiple ways ins and out of that building, right?
No. Multiple ways out. Don't be multiple ways in.
No. See,
Those doors can be locked from the outside.
they can be, but
people
the
can't
problem
get
is,
in.
but in a perfect world, that sounds right.
No,
No,
not in the
that's-
perfect world. That's how my school used
Yeah,
to be.
there is no.
You couldn't get-
there
you
is
couldn't
no
get into-
case in my eyes.
But
that
see,
would-
no, see the
outside
what I'm
doors
saying,
have to be
the
open.
downfall to that is human error that you it's hard to fix.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Because
obviously,
regardless of the doors locked on the outside, there's human error because of the fact that kids will let somebody in.
well, yeah. I mean,
And I'm not, but I mean,
technically-
obviously, if you're 4 or 5, you lock your
But-
classroom.
Yeah.
But
obviously,
but I
in
mean,
a perfect world,
you can't.
it works. But what I'm saying is, that's why I said there's no surefire way. But there are things that you can do. Obviously,
I
you lock
believe
the doors.
there is a surefire way.
I would like to hear this because
Listen to that. Hey, roll with it.
What is a
before we move on,
I wanna hear this.
I want to hear this because I'm just curious.
All right,
You've been
Yes, fourth Titan said,
edging
I
at
want to
this.
hear
So-
the
And
surefire
and if
way.
you got the surefire way, then you need to tell the government.
We about to bring the National Guard in every
Again,
school.
I believe this is a surefire way, but more than likely, most schools would not be able to afford it.
What's up?
Technology has gone beyond what we can imagine, right? There are ways to protect just about any location
Well, somebody
almost
has to
at
be
a
imagining,
100% success rate. My personal opinion, and this is something I plan on implicating on my own property at some point in the future, is an automated system that allows us to determine if someone has a weapon on them, and then at that point, an alert goes off. That alerts an automated system that unconceals weapons on a building.
So
These weapons do not fire unless a threat is confirmed.
Wait,
what? I got confused.
yeah, I'm confused.
And it sounds like something out of a movie, right?
Wait, so it's like some there's like guns in the school and it just start firing at who they think got a weapon?
No. And this is why I said.
Wait,
this is
yeah.
why I
I'm
said.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to
I
understand.
got a little lost.
Okay, so think of this, right? You have a concealed weapon that is in an automated system that's in the building, like attached to the building, right? Retracts and goes out.
Oh,
right?
a gun?
So,
That's
Definitely sound like something out of a movie.
sounds like something out of a movie, but it's something that's 100%
That's possible.
doable.
It's completely possible.
Right?
Yeah.
And it works with other technologies that are controlled by man, right? Let's say someone is approaching the building. Most schools nowadays have cameras, but there are cameras that'll give you infrared, UV, what's it called, ultrasonic, and X-ray. Right? You can get all these technologies. This is why I said most schools wouldn't be able to afford it. All these technologies,
expensive.
if you put these together, you'd be able to tell everything on that person's body, right? If someone is approaching
Is that
with
not
a
an
weapon,
invasion of privacy?
I was gonna ask that.
no, because they're in a public space. I can take a photograph of anyone in a public space. You're approaching the building, I can set a sign at the front
I
of
was
the
gonna say,
building and say,
technically, yeah.
you are being recorded.
I was gonna say at a school, at any type
a
of
public
building.
space.
You can do that.
So someone approaches.
But that's on their person though, right? Like,
Correct.
so like you're looking. So say they have something concealed. You're looking. You would have to use these X-ray things.
I don't
That's
have to
still
use
an
an X-ray. I can use ultrasound. I can use infrared.
But either way,
and
that's
I can
going
use
through
a
with
regular
their-
camera. No, I'm not looking under their clothes. All I'm looking at is the outline of what's there.
My kids ain't going to that school though.
What? Okay, so
Look.
what
I
if it
understand
has-
that. This
No, no,
is
no,
this
but
is just
My
my
kids
this
ain't
is
no,
going
but
to
he-
high
but
school.
he's
They
saying-
got
he's-
a gun on the outside of it that retracts and I can't. Look, because here's the thing. As much as you saying, I get that.
It
My
makes
point
sense,
is-
100%. It makes sense.
Human error. Technology messes up too.
Yes, it
so
does.
it takes one time for that thing to read the wrong thing and to
And
come
fire-
out.
and fire
But
one
then
time.
again,
But,
this
but
is
even
the-
if
but
it don't fire,
allow me
it
to
come
finish.
out and
Allow
pointing
me
at
to
a
finish.
5-year-old, and my
Allow me
5-year-old
to
who are walking
finish.
into school. We got
Allow me to finish.
That's all.
Allow me to finish because this is where a lot of people and technology has that gap. When you don't understand, you become afraid, right? When I explained it in the beginning, right? We assess. The human assesses along with the technology, right? If the technology assesses and says, hey, this is a potential threat, then it is then taken under human eyes to determine if that's an actual threat. If that is an actual threat, there's a whole process to this. If there's an actual threat, right? Someone's actually approaching with a weapon, and it is something that we have confirmed is a weapon.
Right.
Right? If they're outside of the building, we don't shoot. We don't even have to draw the guns. We can say on a loudspeaker, on record it, or someone gets on that speaker and say, "Hey, this person, we notice you have a weapon and you're on this premises. We're a weapon-free zone. You have so many moments before you need to vacate. Otherwise,
Pow pow.
First of all, we're reaching out to authorities off jump, right? Because we want them to know someone's approaching with a weapon. 2, we warn them we do have weapons equipped on this facility that will fire on you if you do not command or apply to these commands.
We will tase you.
Right? And we can set up non-lethal weapons. It doesn't have to be lethal
I ain't gonna
off
hit you.
jump.
We ain't gonna hit you with a 50 cal.
Right?
Hit a good tase.
They have beanbag guns. They have
And them
tasers,
hurt.
rubber bullets, all these things that can help to keep people out of this building. There are technologies out there that allow this to happen.
I agree that there
It's just not
probably
possible,
are.
though.
I just agree that yes, nobody can pay for
I was
it.
gonna say,
what I said.
no.
I mean, that's what I said. And that's
Not
what
nobody,
my
but
point.
that's just a lot.
A lot of
that sounds like
places
millions.
That's a
would not
lot.
be able
That
to
sounds like
afford
millions
this.
The Capitol building don't even have.
that would have to be federal. I'm pretty
I
sure the
mean-
Capitol building got some stuff in there that we.
They were just hanging from the side of the Capitol building down. They don't have nothing. They don't have
You got a good
anything.
point. You got a good point there.
If
You
the
got a good point.
Capitol building don't got no
ain't got nothing
guns opening up at the top and shooting folks, then
Capitol
I know
building
it's
ain't got
over.
nothing.
Hey, look,
So that's all I'm
government. The
saying.
government. If y'all see this, we copyrighting this. We own all that. We get paid if y'all gonna do this. All right.
Yeah,
bet.
yeah, okay, sure.
I was not wrong in that statement. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yes.
So,
In a perfect world, again.
no.
I get that.
But see, I'm with you on this one.
At the end of the day,
We can't afford it.
I'm not saying that this is something that every school is going to be able to go out.
He was
and
very
get.
clear on
I'm
saying
clear.
most schools couldn't.
Yes, most
I don't
schools won't
think
be
any-
able to afford this.
I think any school could afford it.
If the government would cut some military funding,
The government don't provide money
that's
though.
that's
Think
another
about this.
conversation.
you see my
Think
point.
about
The
this.
government
the
not the ones
average
surviving
plant is going to spend
The federal government don't supply money for schools.
$15 to $100 million on changing over their parts every year, right? Depending on the new models of cars that they have. If someone who owns a plant decides that I want to start a school and I want it to be a safe school, they'd be able to put that same amount of money into that school and have it have everything I just mentioned.
I hear you. Now that is where I would say in a perfect world, but it would happen. I would say that, but I don't have an issue with what you said. I think that again with G, I don't know if I would. I just don't. I wouldn't want my kid.
Well, the
anywhere
children
where-
aren't seeing
where
this.
guns are at. I know.
No, but
I'm just
that's
saying-
the thing. But that's the thing.
I just don't trust humans either. So I mean, adults either. I don't know.
So,
and there's no. Don't get me wrong. There's nowhere you're gonna go that's
100%.
gonna be fully trustworthy.
Well, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Like,
you
let's see,
can't
homeschool.
you can't trust
But-
the teachers, you can't trust the students, and you can't trust outside people from the school. So
I agree. So
it's no
yeah.
different than saying, I'm gonna go to the plant and trust everybody in the plant
No,
not to push me in the machine.
I
Wow.
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 No.
I mean, that's
Wow.
real.
No, you're right. You're right, but wow.
You're right. It's a
But I
little,
just feel
it's
like
a
there's
little
more
different
practical
because
ways
kids
to do it.
are still undeveloped and naive.
And some adults are too.
That's a whole.
That's a good fact, though. That's a good fact.
I feel like there's
I-
ways to do it that's more practical.
It's possible, but I just want to. I know
Bulletproof doors on the classrooms.
we can have a whole nother.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great idea. But we can have a whole. There's more.
Bulletproof glass. Period.
I really want to get
Bulletproof
into
doors.
I really want to get into the gun laws though. G has some very interesting
Do you wanna get into
stuff.
gun
I
laws?
do.
G like, yeah, let's go.
I do. But this episode can't go forever, guys. So I do want to get into to gun laws
let's touch-
because we
let's
will
touch
continue
into
talking
it,
about this
dog.
forever if we But G, I want you to share some of your thoughts on the gun law situation when it comes to, because again, like we said, these mass shootings aren't just happening at schools. We had like I said, grocery stores. We had churches. Like it's happening at different things. And when I say, I want to make sure we're clear, mass shootings. We're not talking about, all right, somebody Pookie in the hood was mad because
Pop Ray over
you know what I'm saying?
on 15 to 4.
No. And don't get me wrong, those things are bad too, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these senseless mass shootings and killing people just because whatever motive they may have, or some with no motives. By the way, let's throw that out there too. Some of them just ain't got no motives. They just out here. Some of them do have motives, whether it's racism, whether it's just being prejudiced towards whatever the situation is. But what can we do about the gun laws? Like in your opinion, I'll let G go first because I know he really wanted to kind of get into that. But.
Well, I'm more so curious about everybody else's comments on it. I'm very. Here's the thing. To me, this topic is not black and white. I know in today's society we like to make this. We like to make this a black and white thing.
Right.
It's just not. Because do I believe in the Second Amendment? 1,000%. I believe that we all should be able to bear arms. I feel like we all should be able to protect ourselves.
But should I be able to walk down the street with a bazooka?
So now we get into the specifics of the Second Amendment.
And you got people like that.
You're right. But we got the specifics of the Second Amendment.
No, that's not me. I'm just asking.
I think, should it be that easy to get one, though? No.
That's where my biggest struggle is.
I guess that's my thing, is I don't believe just because you have the right to have it.
And I also think
doesn't
the
mean
age
that,
is messed up too. On
no, it's
who
wild.
Can get
wild.
it?
I mean,
18?
Wild.
But here's the thing on that, though.
You can't even buy a vape to smoke at 18.
I would even argue that you should really be closer to 25 to have to
25.
go and buy in this type of just out on the blue.
My thing is
from nowhere. You know what I mean?
But okay, look. So see,
That's not to say people under 25 don't need to protect themselves.
The thing-
I know that's kind of a.
I don't care.
But how do you actually
I
restrict
really
the
don't.
access, right? Because isn't that the issue that we're having now
Restrict access to what?
to the weapons in general?
No, so here's the thing. Again, I'm not trying to restrict access.
No.
I'm trying to restrict
You misunderstand what I'm saying, right? If you're saying that you should have all these criteria prior to being able to have a weapon,
Correct.
right? How do you restrict those people who have not met those criteria from actually getting a
You
weapon?
can't. So this is
law?
why.
Wait, what do you mean?
This is why
just-
every.
Because you can still, because
Yeah.
regardless of the restriction, regardless of what you're saying,
if
you can still get a gun.
If you're a bad individual and you want to
yes.
go do something illegal and you want to go purchase
You're
a
going to
weapon,
do it.
you're going to do it regardless.
For sure. Exactly.
That's why I don't believe in just taking away all guns and just letting us be gunless and then them having guns. No, that doesn't make any sense.
But a lot of these mass shootings, a lot of these kids that were doing these shootings, a lot of them got guns legally.
They
And
walk
a lot
into a
of them
store.
that just turned 18.
Yeah, they walk into a store, buy a gun, and go kill people.
Yeah.
They didn't have to go to the black market. Almost no mass shooting did they go to a black market and go find a gun from around go ask Pookie and Ray Ray on 53rd Street and actually get a gun. That didn't happen.
He from 63rd. I'm sorry.
That didn't
Okay,
happen.
My bad.
These people got their guns legally,
Had a moment.
or their parents had the gun. This stuff did not happen the way people thought it happened.
Oh, no, yeah,
They
sure.
went to the hood and bought it from somebody.
They went to the hood.
out the back of their trunk. This stuff didn't happen.
You know, I got about 16 AKs and everything, and you know what I'm saying? I got it on me.
Right. The people typically who do mass shootings are not the people who are about to go pick up a gun that way. These folks they know the law. They know that they're able to get a gun or they have access to one. Meaning like their parents got one or they can go to the store and buy one. Okay, so these are something's wrong mentally. with them. They're not thinking that far out in advance.
I
They
also
want a
think-
weapon. They want to kill folks.
Dom just brought up something
We gotta
that
make that
it just
hard.
kind of sparked something to me too, though. I also think that all guns shouldn't be accessible. Like there are specific,
I agree with, 100%.
like
1,000%.
How are people getting AKs?
You should not have an
and,
M4,
like,
bro, in your house.
Like there, and these are some of these people
Like,
are
bro.
buying these type
But
of
you
guns.
can
It's
go
like,
buy those guns in the market.
I know,
That's what
I
he's
know,
saying.
and
No,
I
that's
feel-
what that's the
I
point.
guess
Like,
that's my
bro,
that's my
how?
struggle. Like I feel like those shouldn't be so easily accessible.
Like, you should not
I
be
guess.
able to
I'm not
easily
saying
get an
that nobody
M4,
can get
an
nothing, but,
AK.
like, what do
I
we need
guess-
an AK for?
What you need? What you need? Hollow point 50K round, 50 caliber rounds.
Like
for?
I know
bro, you
people
don't need
go.
all
I know
that.
people go shooting. I hear that.
I'm just
I know
saying.
there's different things. There's different reasons for some people. There are some legitimate reasons for some people. Cool, I guess. But you know what? We got to think about the majority when it comes to these things. That's where like I don't know. I'm not the biggest person on knowing.
I agree.
I'm not the super knowledgeable person about the gun laws and stuff. So I ain't going.
No, I mean I ain't super
defer.
I
I
shouldn't be able to go buy an RPG.
But you
Let's
can't.
keep it a buck.
Oh wait,
You
but
can buy an RPG.
No,
Yeah.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
can.
no.
Yeah,
You
you
can't buy
can.
RPG.
No, you
No,
can.
no, you cannot.
Yeah, you can.
No,
Not in America.
No, you,
I
no,
can buy
no, you
a
cannot. People have one. You
I
cannot
can
go buy.
buy.
You can
I
go
can
buy one.
buy.
Yes.
a
You cannot go buy a
decommissioned
missile.
tank.
You can't go buy it.
Highly illegal.
It's gonna cost you a grip, but
It's
you can
gonna
buy
cost you a
tank.
grip, yes, but I can go out and
If
buy
I
me
could buy a tank, I could buy an
But-
RPG.
But this is my point, though. So you can regulate a lot of different weapons, right? There's a lot of different weapons that are not easily accessible. Grenades, by no one just walking around with grenades. Are there people with them? Yes. But are there just random folks walking around with grenades? No, because they're very, very, very hard to get and they're very illegal. So my thing is, you can do the same with guns. Certain
agree,
guns,
Greg.
I agree.
People create pipe bombs all the time.
they create them. Okay, you can build something if you want to, but
Yeah,
not
that's a whole- I think
most
that's a
people
whole
don't have
other
the
thing that you can't really
most people
regulate
don't
that.
have the ability to do so. There are some people out there with that ability.
There's
but
YouTube videos out there already.
for sure, and then we can get them blocked.
Side note, it's legal for me now. You can go buy one.
What?
Go buy what?
An RPG.
You cannot buy an
I
RPG.
just read it. You can.
No, okay. Anywho,
What are you reading?
a real one?
Yeah.
The one that actually works.
Yeah.
And you can buy the missile too.
Yeah.
Dom, you cannot.
It's considered a distraction.
No.
I just read it. Yeah, you
Dom,
can.
you
What'd you
can't.
read it on? That's what I'm asking.
I just searched up, can you buy one? It was like, yeah.
I could have answered that.
So Google say yeah.
Yeah, so Google. All right, got
Google.
it.
National Firearms Act. Yeah.
Oh, National Firearms.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's what I was like, bro, yeah, you can get one.
I'm not buying
bro.
no RPG. Where?
Do I know where to buy one? No, I'm not finna buy
Oh,
RPG.
see, that's
sells RPG?
another thing we're talking about. Yeah,
I'm not
like
saying I'm about to go buy
we
one.
talking
wait.
about the stuff
I'm
that
just
you go
saying
buy in Walmart. Like you go get stuff like
Because
Bro, if I
here's
can-
the thing. Here's the thing.
Well,
Like
Amazon.
like G said, if someone wants it, they'll get it.
Sure.
Right. But
Make it harder.
if the laws permit it, it don't matter where they get it from, it's legal.
True.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is make it harder because my thing is they're going to get it regardless. We get that. We get there's no way around
somebody's
it.
determined
There's more
about
guns.
some evil, that's
There's
what
more
they
guns
do.
in America than people. They're out there. You'll be able to get them.
Facts.
But the problem is that don't mean we just make it easy for them. I mean, it's like, hey, well, it's since people gonna find them anyway, you might as well just say, hey,
Because
here
at
you go.
least maybe
No.
that stops some. At least that cuts down on the mass.
Yeah,
shooting.
you can
It's like
you can possibly decrease it.
if this 18-year-old kid that can't get it, then cool. Maybe that's and shoot the kid that was in Columbine. He wasn't even 18, was he?
Yeah, I think it.
Was he?
I don't know.
I don't remember at this point. Dom, go ahead and look it up. You want to look it up?
You said what up? What you want to know?
How the kid that was the
Well,
Columbine shooter.
how did he get his gun? I mean, honestly, let's really go down the list because people ain't going down that list. How did all these mass murderers get their weapons?
Some of them was from parents.
Some
Which
of
is a
them
whole
walked to the store
nother-
and bought one.
Some of them just went in the store and bought.
Who?
them.
Which one had their gun illegally? I want to know which person had an illegal weapon.
It just say you was, wait, nope, that ain't that. Keep going. I'm trying to find it.
I mean, honestly, the most basic one right now, the bill that's on the floor is talking about universal
They were
background
18 and
checks.
17.
Someone was 17.
So honestly,
So the 18-year-old bought them and said, "Hey, use this."
Yeah.
To the 17-year-old.
so even the bill that's on the floor right now, universal background checks. Mm-hmm. Okay, this bill, obviously, when you go buy a new gun right now, you already get background check. The problem is the universal background checks means that if I want to sell my gun to Dom has to get a background check, even though it's not from a store. They say no to that. That's wild to me. So I can sell my gun privately to anybody, currently.
The senators want a lot of. Okay.
But they find that that's okay. That I can go to just random Joe Blow down the street. He don't have to give me so I don't have to
So
go
I
to
can
the
just
store.
cash.
If I'm crazy, I can just go on Craigslist and find someone selling a gun and go buy them as long as my license.
Yeah, but then you got to register it.
Craigslist.
You still got to register it, though. Yeah, it work.
But you got to register it.
You got to register it.
For sure.
You're supposed to register it. Yeah.
Well,
No. Let's say it right.
Here.
You're
But
supposed
as-
to register. Let's say it
supposed to
right. You're
register
supposed to
it.
register it. Let's say it
Right.
right.
But as long as you are within age limit and everything else, you can register a gun.
Today, you good.
You can register a gun.
So registration doesn't include background?
No.
No,
No,
sir.
No.
You just saying.
Great question.
You're saying this is my
Great
gun.
question.
And
I
this,
feel
here's
you're
the serial number.
you're letting
Here's
the
my
police
gun.
know
Going to
that
do
you
that
have one.
That's it.
universal background, that's where it should be.
Great
Again,
response.
That's
But wait.
That's what the bill is.
Okay.
The bill is so that it doesn't matter when, who you bought your gun from, where you.
Are we talking about the
You
bill
have
that
to
the
get a
senators
background
haven't
check.
voted on yet? Mm-hmm. That they've had on for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's been 2
ever
years,
since
probably?
ever since Sandy Hook. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is that we have a situation that they want back. That's just basic to me. To me, that's basic. Why do I have to get a background check at the store, but I don't have to get a background check when I buy it from someone private? They say that's infringing on people's private laws and private.
It's a
look,
That
gun.
makes 0 sense.
and
I can kill somebody and you
for
cool
the
with it?
in my eyes, for the same reason that you think that they need a background check at the store,
They should need it anywhere.
it's just common sense.
Point blank period.
It's literally common
Now,
sense.
here's my concern, right? And
But they say, oh, they want to take our guns away. I don't know how 2 + 2 = 4 there, but I mean, if 2 + 2 = 4,
Doesn't
I mean,
2 + 2 = 7?
No, it's 5.
it's 2 + 2 has equals 5,
32.
6, 7, 8, and 9
It's
ever
32.
since you know who. So
I thought it was.
new
I thought it was
map
green. I
says
thought it was
it's
green.
32.
No, I thought it was
Oh,
green.
okay, cool.
No, it's green. It's
Thanks,
green.
Chuck.
It's green.
Oh,
it just,
got it. So
it's wild.
it's crazy, and as you guys watching and listening can tell, it's a tough conversation. Like it's a tough solution
Yeah,
and
it's no
different
easy
things
fix.
like that.
But it needs to be talked about.
It
Yeah,
needs
some-
to be talked about. And
yes,
it
that's
needs
all
to
we
be
saying.
like things need to be
I'm gonna
done.
start-
complicated.
I'm gonna start an LLC.
Things need to be done.
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
complicated.
start an LLC so I can come up with this automated system.
Hey, look.
Hey, y'all heard it
Look,
here
my
first.
boy,
He
do
detailed
it.
it out perfectly for
Hey,
y'all.
look, it's copyrighted right here.
If
We got
y'all
proof
wants-
that we said it
If y'all
first.
wants that,
Copywritten, my
y'all
dog.
need to go talk to
Copywritten,
Chuck,
my dog.
and y'all can come up with that
Listen.
game plan. I don't know what school
Listen,
can
I know-
afford $3
We need-
billion
we need a-
in
$3 billion?
in security
It ain't,
systems.
wait. That's not even $3 billion. That the security system
300
that
million.
the security system that I just mentioned could probably cost a school maybe like 5 to 10 mil. And
Hey, Elon Musk, holla at
and I
us.
feel like that's something that's doable for.
What
a
about
school.
these schools that can't get no
If you
books?
cast
And
tax,
he
but
talking
our school
about
got
three.
5,000 kids in it, so that
That's
school
true.
don't bring in money like that.
That's
These
true.
small counties and stuff. I mean,
I feel like
maybe in a
for
major
those
city.
schools, there's different things that you can do for them.
If you can figure out a way to cut
You
costs,
mentioned the bulletproof doors and glass.
I think that is basic to me.
The security check.
I was gonna say the setup that
before
you
being
described,
able-
yeah.
the
So that's
security
dope.
check before coming in the building.
Right.
You know, an enclosed space that they're not allowed to get past.
Right.
these are
That's-
practical things that can be
Exactly.
done today.
Yeah, this is all I say, right? Bulletproof doors. In case of emergency, there's an alarm that goes off. All the doors lock.
So
How
you
is
know
there
how,
no
hey, wait, you know how they got the doors at the gym where if you push it open, these are emergency doors, the alarm goes off.
Right.
So you throw that on a school and then only has the push thing on the inside but no knob on the outside.
Right.
And a seal wall, or it's just a strip of metal that
Right.
closes off the seam between the doors.
Yes.
So you do that on the emergency exit doors, and then do your main entrance or entrances, however many you have, where you have your enclosed space that's completely bulletproof, bomb-proof, right? So that they're not able to enter the building
Yeah.
at all
And I just
without being checked.
Well,
like
but
that. I also think
no,
that-
I mean, I agree with that, but I'm saying even if they're in the hallway, I believe that if you have bulletproof doors,
That can lock.
yeah,
That can lock.
yeah,
Let's go with that.
bulletproof
one.
doors that lock, like
that have security locks.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
security
would
locks.
that
Yeah,
would
this
actually
should be a security
So-
So
code.
you
So
have
if-
your normal lock, and then you have your security
Right.
like a
lock.
security
So-
code or something.
right, and they have every classroom has a panic button for one. and you have a bulletproof door, glass, the whole thing. To me, that's basic. I think in
I agree.
2022, that's what we have to go towards.
I agree.
Why do
That and
schools
a
have any
utility
panic
officer.
rooms yet? Like
I feel
any
like
type of
every
panic.
class-
Let's hide under the desk.
But every classroom should be a panic
That's what I
room.
mean.
Yeah, so
Right.
a
Oh
version,
yeah, I agree.
to me,
I
a version
agree.
of that is
I
necessary.
like
agree.
that.
Yeah, to me, a
like that for
version
sure.
of that is necessary. Every
sure.
school can do
Also,
There's
I feel
like
like-
something.
I
We're
feel
still
like-
talking about hiding behind the desk.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That does nothing.
In
every-
2022.
That does
Every
nothing.
room
That's stopping at
should
50 cal though,
have-
huh? That's gonna stop at 50 cal? No.
Well, ain't nobody walking.
I feel like every classroom should have some sort of security exit or emergency exit, whether it be
In
a
the-
window
in-
that
in the room.
completely opens up.
Yeah, in the
Yes.
room. Like
right?
they need them-
In the room, and then there should be like you have on planes, where you have the
inflator
inflatables.
thing, yeah.
So if you have multi-story schools,
yeah.
you're able to
Because
come down.
if you think about it, these mass shootings are happening against one shooter. Like,
right.
y'all can get out. Like, there should be ways for these other students and different things to get out of the classrooms, like
Yes.
you said.
There
I
needs
think
to be egress windows in every classroom.
Yes.
Egress windows in every classroom, bulletproof doors and windows and security locks on all the doors.
Should be
Basic.
You should, and you should.
And panic buttons that go directly to the police station.
I was saying, I also
Basic.
feel,
Yes.
feel like what
That's
should
it.
be somewhat. I ain't gonna say like it's a little more than basic, but it's completely doable. It should be a way to isolate that shooter. I don't in every school.
Oh yeah.
If there's one shooter,
So,
there should be a way to
wait,
isolate him.
What was it?
Hallway?
in the hall.
In the hallways, yes.
Yeah.
by
So-
having the door.
Gates. No, gates.
Think about this. Think about
The
this.
gates, by itself.
Let's say
Automatic gates.
Let's say
Okay,
let's say a
now
door
we're
was
right.
left open.
No.
Right?
Hold on. No, I'm saying he said. I'm saying like gates. 'Cause like, all right, let's go with my old high school.
It don't have to be a gate.
Because like in King High School, even at the top floor, even bottom floor, there are doors, big, huge
One
doors
of my
that close
schools,
in.
I can't remember what school it was.
If you can lock those
I
doors.
don't think it was,
Hospitals
not my
have these.
not my high school, but yeah, one of my schools had automatic doors.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a rich school or nothing, but they had like automatic doors where like it would emergency. It would
Yeah, it would close and lock.
and you can't like it can be locked or something from the system.
Yeah,
it didn't
I know.
always lock, but it can
Yeah,
be.
now,
But that's what I'm
now
saying.
I'm thinking about it. We did have that in like halfway down.
Yeah,
like,
there's
yeah,
doors
That's what I'm
right
saying.
there. That's what I'm
A lot
saying.
of
There's a
hospitals
way.
already have these
Yeah.
in them, so that people aren't able to get back into the areas with the patients.
That's something to definitely think about.
But it's something that can be done,
Yeah, I
and it
just
could
think-
be ballistic
yeah,
doors.
I just think these are things that can be put in place.
And these are
Right now.
practical.
And some schools can do them quicker than others.
Yes,
but these are
sure.
things that can be put into place.
It's
over
gotta
the course
start
of time.
somewhere, though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be put in
To
place
make it a
over the
norm,
course of time.
like-
Your idea, great. I just don't think I'll ever.
I think
get to the point.
I think some private schools might invest in
Yeah,
something
maybe.
like
Private
that.
schools for sure. Yes.
Maybe,
You know,
but
yeah.
I feel like this bulletproof doors and all that kind of stuff are things that can take place
Right now.
over the course of time. And maybe this year they just add a panic button.
Yeah.
That's not expensive. You can get a panic button.
Because question,
I don't get how that's not even a thing.
I don't think
Here's the thing, though,
every
right?
school in Detroit is even
Think
part
about
of the
this.
green light system either.
No.
That's what I'm like because the green light system was a great idea.
I
It was a
think
great
the
idea.
green light system is an okay system because
No, it was a great idea. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's a great. It was a great
I
idea.
think the panic button works a lot better.
Yeah, just-
you
But-
send
but
that
it's the
directly
same- it's the same
to,
concept. Though. You know what I'm saying? If you integrate that into the green light when the whole system is connected to the police, then there's no way that no one can be able to contact them.
And I also heard people talk room numbers on the outside of the building. So let's say you hit the panic button. Panic button already pops
know
up.
exactly
Room
where to go.
202.
Yeah,
such
they know
place.
exactly what
But
you're-
you know outside. I can just go outside.
I ain't gotta
that's
look at no
202.
blueprint and be
yeah,
like, well, what's
if I go
going on?
in but bust a left, I can see from the outside windows.
202.
202
No, that's a good
right
idea.
here. I'm busting that window right there. Like that's the window I'm
Here's
going
here's
after.
my only concern with these type of systems, even what I described, right?
Mm-hmm.
They require power, right?
Maybe.
And
Bro, if somebody goes that far,
Here-
I'm hearing you though.
people might.
That's what's
I
like
mean, I'm
if
just saying, I'm
if
just
somebody
thinking-
goes that
here's my
far,
thing.
dog.
As the engineer, you always are supposed to think of every possible failure point when you're designing a system, right? When you're designing, no matter what you're designing, right? And in this scenario, right, automated doors, locking systems, things like that. If I kill the power, none of it works.
That is-
Sure.
But to me, mine's is a fail safe because the doors can close by themselves. So
I understand that.
Someone hit the panic alarm, an alarm going off in the whole school.
So-
if your doors aren't closing, you go pull them closed and lock the door yourself. And there has to be a manual way of doing that. Now,
Yes.
maybe the automatic doors in the hallway don't work. Maybe you left out. But as far as the classroom is concerned,
if I kill the switch before even going into school, guess what happens?
You know nothing.
The police know nothing
well,
until you call them.
yeah,
Now let's
I
say
can take my chances.
people are getting
I'm not gonna think that that's
smarter when
But
people
I
are
agree,
getting
but
smarter.
that's what I'm saying.
People
Like,
getting smarter when they start committing these crimes.
Sure.
No,
If
they
I
are.
if I take a
It's a
jammer with
suicide
me,
mission, though.
it not always.
I will.
Some
Shooting up
of
elementary
these
school?
shooters have walked out with no harm done to them.
Where? I'm talking about the school shootings. These school shootings, only
A
one
lot
that
of
walked
times
out
these
was my
schools-
buddy over here in Michigan.
A
And
lot of times,
that's
these
only
school
because they
shooters
didn't want to.
have issues where they end up killing themselves, or they just there because they want to be killed.
But let's be honest, though. Do we all think they really kill themselves in there? If you
No,
walk,
I'm not saying
if you
everyone
walk
kills
into
themselves.
if you walk if you're a cop, right? You walk into an elementary school and you see 20 dead 8-year-olds, obliterated.
Shooter not making it up.
100%. I'm putting two in it.
Shooter shot himself.
I'm putting the clip.
Because I promise you, if I catch you in the hallway, I'm not gonna like put your hands up.
You're gonna be slumped.
I'm gonna tell you. You do know this. There's no way.
I'm not telling them anything.
There's no way out where you live. I'm not stepping over dead kids
I might
to get
even-
to you and put you in
I'm
handcuffs.
gonna keep it a buck.
Come on.
I might even be like, I did it.
No,
He
no,
gone.
I'm going.
He out of here.
I'm gonna tell him, hey, buddy, raise up a little bit. And I'm gonna unload the clip.
Like, it's-
That's it. I'm gonna unload the clip. That's it.
Yeah.
That's,
I'm just keeping it a
Getting
buck.
all of them. Getting all of them, bro. I might
There's
reload.
no way.
I might
I
reload.
may lose my badge, but hey, what's
I might reload that
I'm
boy.
thinking.
Or I'm gonna just give
here's
him
my thing.
one right here in the middle of his forehead.
Here's
That's
my
it.
thing. I'm just thinking from.
So that's on me.
I'm just thinking from, and this is where a lot of points of
Definitely
failure always end up happening,
I think
right?
that's case by case.
We assume that certain things are not going to happen,
Right. You right.
right? You can never assume something won't happen because at that point it will.
I will say this, just to kind of wrap everything up. Like, I don't think I will say this. Like you kind of just said and touched on. There's no flawless way
No, there's not.
to correct any of this, and I think that kind of unfortunate. But we can do all. I think the best thing we need to do is do all that we can
Correct.
to help.
Save kids
I,
who get shot?
I love the
Yeah, I think so.
ideas. Look, if y'all see this, if y'all have any type of power, any type of anything, we need to get these get some
Say
ideas
something.
out,
We
man.
good,
These are
whatever.
things that need to go out to these.
At the very
schools
least,
different
go ahead and
places.
get these ballistic doors and
Please.
walls.
Hey, that should be
Please.
the first thing you should be able to do.
Please.
I don't care how.
Yeah.
Please
Use that petty
It
cash,
needs
some
to
money
be
that
done.
you got, something. Do something.
Because
needs
in
to
my
be
eyes,
done.
the school still looks like a school like that. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
look like a lockdown. It
don't like a prison.
Kids won't be able to tell that there's bulletproof doors on there. Like you can
They-
paint
all
them a
they see
different
is a
color.
door.
Like, but my thing, they could be fire doors and stuff. Like there's a lot of doors like that already in schools. Fire doors and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know what a fire door looked like if someone didn't tell you what a fire door was. So that's the thing. Bulletproof doors too. Like
It's a door. That's all you know.
they gonna be a little heavier, but the kids ain't gonna know.
Who closed
gotta-
the door? You ain't closed
That's
it.
what I'm
You
saying.
said
I
you closed the
don't
door.
believe in the guy walking down the hallway, bulletproof vest and big AK or M14 in his hand.
Looking like
No,
a juggernaut from
that's
Call
crazy.
of Duty. No,
That's
bro.
crazy. But what I'm saying is, there still needs to be ways that if something happens, we can turn this into a fortress, though. That if it needs to be, but
I
it can
agree.
be. It's a school. It's a fortress designed as a school. That's what I'm saying.
I agree.
Oh, so like Highland Park before it was torn down.
So we have to do
All right.
everything that we can to
Somebody was thinking right.
prevent these scenarios from happening.
Do your best. Talk to your senators, your
windows.
councilmen.
We hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. Well, I don't want to say enjoy really, but just we hope y'all were
Got some insight. From
Got
this, though.
something.
It made you
Learn
think. We
something.
hope it made you think. At
started
least.
some conversations. Anything like that, we got to go ahead and sign off from Boys to Men. Make sure that y'all, before we sign off, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Facts. Comment.
This is definitely a conversation. Even if this is your first time listening, first time watching this, share this episode. We need to continue to get this conversation going. More awareness. Let's talk about these things, and let's get some change happening. We need to have stuff happening because my God, like for real, we talking about kids, bro.
I'm about
Like,
to start bulletproofing my
kids.
cars with Kevlar and silicone.
And that's gonna be it from Boys to Men.
One.
Peace out, y'all.
3.